Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Renee Summerhour. Let's start off with your top stories brought to you by Nevada Hand's Silver Sky Assisted Living Community. Learn more at nevadahand.org. Today marks exactly 1 year since the January 6th attacks on the U.S. Capitol, yet the investigation still continues today. Review-Journal's Jen Ah has more from the U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland. Jen?
Renee, our political expert says the divide on how to approach this grim anniversary from Democrats and Republicans shows just how much of a divide there is in our country. A day before this 1 year mark of the insurrection, U.S. AG Merrick Garland detailed the serious assaults on police officers.
One officer was crushed in a door. Another was dragged down a set of stairs, face down, repeatedly tased and beaten, and suffered a heart attack.
This investigation is the largest in the department's history, with more than 700 arrested.
There were 3 Nevada men who were involved in the insurrection and are facing federal charges for assaulting police.
The FBI is still on the hunt for 350 others.
And we continue to seek the public's assistance in identifying those individuals.
Garland says he vows to hold anyone who was responsible accountable, whether they were physically there or not, calling it a top priority. Renee?
And in Boulder City, law enforcement from across southern Nevada honored the life of a Las Vegas police officer who died on Christmas Day. 37-year-old Briar Huff had been vacationing in Mexico with her family when she died. A procession of police cars and fire trucks led to a public funeral at Boulder Creek Golf Course, which drew in several hundred people. Huff had worked with the Metro Police Department for 5 years. The 2022 Consumer Electronic Trade Show opened Wednesday to bustling crowds at the Las Vegas Convention Center, even as COVID-19 remains a concern for many. Review-Journal's James SCHAEFFER takes us there.
The largest consumer electronic trade show in the world kicked off Wednesday in Las Vegas, making room for crowds. The floors were crowded in some areas of the convention center for what's normally elbow-to-elbow swarms of attendees. In years past, CES has attracted 170,000 attendees. That number is unlikely to be hit again this year. However, CES 2022 is boasting 2,300 vendors on site.
It's not like it's a normal CES. Vendors who were planning to be there just haven't shown up. And those that are there are the small startup companies that still there's a lot of innovation there.
Though day 2 is just beginning, the Review-Journal will keep you up to date on the numbers and the tech from the convention floor. For the Las Vegas Review-Journal, I'm James SCHAEFFER.
In your business news, sponsored by Bank of Nevada, Bank on Accountability, more from CES. The boring company Loop at the Las Vegas Convention Center had no problems handling the scaled-down crowds. Officials reported no lines of waiting passengers and no backups in the underground transportation tunnels. In more business news, Dave & Buster's has drawn up plans for a new location in Henderson. This will be the second tavern arcade in southern Nevada. Very little information has been released on when construction will start, but city records show it will be at the corner of Galleria Drive and David Baker Way.
Sports, sponsored by Station Casinos, STN Sports. Download the app and get a bonus up to $100 when you sign up. While the Raiders are on the cusp of the playoffs, there are still questions surrounding the organization regarding the team's next head coach. Rich Bisaccia, who took over on an interim basis after John Gruden's resignation, would likely receive strong consideration with a win on Sunday to secure a playoff berth. Some big-name candidates that have been floating around include Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh, Clemson's Dabo Swinney, David Shaw from Stanford, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich. Sports betting, sponsored by Las Vegas Paiute Tribal Smoke and Cigar Shop. 5 entries remain in contention for the $6 million prize in the $1,000 buy-in Circus Survivor contest, which started with a field of 4,080. Contestants picked one straight-up NFL winner each week and could only use a team once. If multiple entries survive this week, they'll split the prize. The Circus Sports Million and Westgate Super Contest will also conclude Sunday, with millions in prize money to be awarded.
In your health news, a staffing crisis. That's how trade groups describe the situation at hospitals in southern Nevada and some rural areas. The Nevada Hospital Association says COVID hospitalizations have risen sharply since the holidays, and people are flocking to emergency rooms for testing, making matters worse for hospitals where much of the staff is out with COVID. Now it's time to take a look at your local weather forecast for the Las Vegas Valley. Sunny skies is forecasted for your Thursday, light to variable winds. Tonight, mostly clear skies with lows around 42 degrees. For the rest of the week, sunny conditions will remain in the forecast. We've increased our daytime highs since the beginning of the week, 63 degrees by Friday. No high winds or rains are projected for the week or next week. We'll remain in the low 60s for daytime highs now through the weekend, evening lows staying in the low 40s. In your lifestyle news, sponsored by Glittering Lights at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Christmas may be over, but the spirit of giving still lives on. SCHAEFFER and EZPAWN teamed up for the 4th annual coat drive to benefit the Nevada Partnership for Homeless Youth.
We're just so fortunate. Those that aren't so fortunate, we can help out. Like I said in the past, we help people every day in what we do, and this is just one step further to help those that can't, help themselves at the moment.
SCHAEFFER says over 200 winter items were collected in this latest drive. Now to your entertainment news, sponsored by DiscoverYourNevada.com, brought to you by Travel Nevada. We're seeing some cancellations for shows on the Strip. Review Journal's John Katzlamides tells us what's happening.
David Copperfield and Matt Franco, two top-selling magicians on the Las Vegas Strip, have both halted their shows this week because of COVID. Franco has tested positive himself, and he's dark all the way through January 17th, though the second week is a scheduled pause. Copperfield says that he is going dark up until Friday night, back Saturday at MGM Grand. That's 8 shows total because of an outbreak in his cast. We are tracking all the shows, but those are the two biggies right now that have been forced to cancel.
Thank you for watching 7 at 7 a.m. I'm Renee Summerhour. If you have a Roku device, search Review Journal to download our channel. Watch Las Vegas Breaking News streaming live on your OTT device. We'll see you back here later today for 7 at 7 p.m. from the Las Vegas Review Journal. Have a great day.
Review Journal Studio, sponsored by Adam Kuttner. Get the maximum settlement as quickly as possible. This 7 at 7 update, sponsored by Pro Group Management. You're watching 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review Journal.